Yeah, it like neutralizes it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just, and that's it, right?
Yeah.
You don't need to make it more complex than that, right? Because like, what are you used to? You're used to like basically saying, I wish this irritability wasn't here. Why am I so irritable? Oh, why am I so fidgety? I just need to sit still and I want this to be gone, right? And all of those are just thoughts. And those are just basically, it's just resistance to what is. What is the irritability. Now just be with it, experience it fully, right? So if you can see the resistance to what is, that neutralizes the resistance, you could say. It dissolves the resistance, right? So you could see that there's just some irritability, some, the body's just fidgeting, the body can't settle. It's just, it just wants to kind of move. But thoughts about this shouldn't happen, I don't want this, I don't like this, it's kind of like a symbolically, it's a this. It's a, I don't want that. No thanks. Right? If you can see that, then that's a good thing. Because now you're noticing that resistance. And that which is seeing the resistance is itself not resisting. Right? The awareness that you are, that is aware of this resistance activity. Well, this activity of resistance, it's actually one with the activity of the irritability, right? You can't find the line. There's no line between the irritability activity and the resistance of the irritability activity. It's the same activity. That which is aware of it, the awareness is not itself an activity. It's not happening. It's there's a phenomenal happening, right? There's a phenomena. That which is phenomenal is something that's happening. That's the irritability. That's also this. I don't want this. I want the irritability to go away. I want the body to settle. It's this dissatisfaction with the moment, right? But that dissatisfaction is also the moment. By seeing it, you're seeing like a level prior to it. Usually you're seeing the resist, usually you're seeing the irritability. And when you are the resistance to the irritability, then it seems like you don't even have that awareness, because at that time you are identified as the resistance. You are the resistance. By seeing the resistance, it's as if you stepped back one step further, and now you're able to see that resistance, which means you aren't the resistance. And by remaining as the witness of that resistance actually starts to dissolve. And that's what you notice is, oh, things actually start to settle. And you notice that the mind becomes more calm. You feel like there's this calmness because there's not this stress, right? There's not this tension, because the tension is what is. And then there's this pushing, like a physical, like you're trying to push a wall, you're going to feel tension in your muscles and everything. That's kind of what's happening energetically. It's just this mental tension. And we experience that mental tension actually expressed in the body as well. Unnecessary tension in the body is a result of this mental tension that we say, oh, I don't want this to happen. So then we feel like tension in our head or our jaw or shoulders or neck, anywhere in the body. Typically, we kind of have these kind of like favorite kind of like places for tension to kind of store. Some people might store it really in the lower back or really in the neck or really in the jaw, or like there's kind of like these places where this tension is really stored up. But really it's a manifestation of the mental tension that we're experiencing in the mind. So that's why I say is I always kind of point, notice the tension in the body and then witness that tension in the body. If you can find that resistance in the body, that fidgetedness is a sense of resistance, because that uneasiness, that kind of like, I need to get going, it's really actually the resistance to this moment, because it's kind of saying, I want to run away from this moment. It's, I don't want to just be with what is. This is boring. I don't want to just sit. I need to get going. So when you're able to see it, you go, well, it's not like you have to question, like, where are you going? But just to notice that it's actually a running away from this moment. Because that's what I always kind of point to. The seeking actually is resistance, right? To resist this moment, it's also the same as saying you're running away from the moment. And that's really what seeking is. Seeking is running from this moment. It's running from what is, right? So you're saying, I don't want this. I want something else. I don't want to sit. I want something else. So it's the seeking. But when you're able to see, when you're able to observe or witness or be aware, all of these are just kind of saying the same thing, using different words, whatever word you like. When you're aware of the resisting, when you're aware of the seeking, that's like a sweet spot, because now you're noticing that that which is aware of the resisting and the seeking is not resisting or seeking. And by being aware of that resistance and that seeking, that resistance or that seeking settles down. That pushing against the moment, it eases up. That trying to run from the moment, it slows down. And it comes to this, what you would call being present. That's what the experience of being present is. It's being here now, instead of trying to push away this moment and be somewhere else. Right. So yeah, just that witnessing is key. And it's so powerful. It's like really nothing else is really needed at that point, because it's kind of like, with more witnessing, you just see more and more. And with that witnessing, you just start witnessing more throughout the day. So maybe there's just the witnessing, 10-minute meditation before breakfast, but now you're witnessing at breakfast and after breakfast and at lunch and after lunch and in the afternoon and before dinner. And now your whole day, there's this witnessing. That's meditation. The meditation is not restricted to just on the mat or on the cushion. It's now the whole day is meditation. Your life is meditation. What you actually are is meditation. And you start seeing that actually you and life are one and the same. You and meditation are one and the same. So yeah, it's powerful to see that.